All right, cool. Hi. All right. Anyway, so today we're gonna go further into the butterfly guard. We started on Wednesday going over basically what I would call close range or short range butterfly guards. If I have you, sit in front of me. Yep. And you're on your knees. So I'm here. I like to think of the butterfly guard as operating in sort of three distinct ranges, each serving a distinct function. Right? So we're having certain advantages and disadvantages. So we started from the close range, which is what I want you guys to imagine before I get into this, and so it kind of connects the whole semester together, is imagine like sort of a meter or something, you know? I'm drawing it in the air, guys. On one side is close range butterfly, and on the other side is long range collar and sleeve, right? The farthest away they can get from you while you still have the tactile sort of connection. So the way that this semester is structured is we're starting from the closest or the farthest points from each other, and we will navigate towards the center and then out. And hopefully overall throughout this semester you'll kind of develop an awareness of, okay, the solution of when they're at this distance is this, the solution from this distance is this, right? Because as we talked about, open guard is, pretty much all about distance. That's kind of, guard in general, right, is like I need to control the distance, I need to control our positioning, my feet need to stay in front of him. So how am I going to do that? He can either barrel through my guard to get past my legs, or he can disengage from my guard to get past my legs. So we have distinct solutions to address those problems. The butterfly guard is distinctly designed to address him trying to smash into me, right? If he were to, again, as we demonstrated, say you're standing, pin my knees to the floor and drop down and try to mash into me, I can frame out and recover this butterfly. The collar and sleeve isn't going to do it from there, obviously, right? He's down there and pushing. But if he stands up and tries to disengage, now we have to switch to a different thing. So, anyway, on Wednesday, we talked about the close range butterfly, getting in this sort of over-under position. This is just one of the answers from the close range butterfly. I can go double overs, I can go double unders, there's a lot of different ways I can attack. But today we're going to move into mid-range, okay? So when I'm in mid-range butterfly, what we're really talking about is, I like to think basically elbow distance away, right? So traditionally, kind of a collar tie distance, right? I'm not close enough that I'm in the position where I can shoot my hips underneath of him and elevate him, right? If I tried to do that from here, let's say you have this collar tie on me, right? Exactly, it's kind of here, and he's kind of keeping this elbow distance away from me. If I try to shoot underneath and elevate, it's going to be kind of awkward. Does that make sense, guys? So I have to go about it from a different direction. The good news is that people react to collar ties very predictably, and the predictable response to a collar tie is a collar tie. And, wouldn't you have it, collar ties are really good to leading to a telephone armbar. So all we need is, let's say he's in front of me, I'm going to establish my collar tie, and when he puts that hand on my neck, so actually let's go this way. When he puts this hand on my neck, or the back of my head, I'm going to make one of two things happen. I would say these are relatively interchangeable, personal preference over which you prefer. I'm either going to palm, so like I'm holding water, the point of his elbow, or I'm going to find the notch of my wrist behind and underneath the point of his elbow. So I don't know if you can quite see that on the camera, but here's the point of his elbow, and I want the notch of my wrist to catch it. Does that make sense, guys? So I'm here, he puts that hand on my neck, and we'll talk about the nuances in a second, but I want you to be super loose for a second, okay? So palm, I'm sort of compressing, and then rotating over, right? Notch of the wrist, same thing, compressing, rotating over, okay? Now, here's the thing to understand, though, before I go into so many things. See in front of me? I want you to grab a good solid collar tie. If I could just in a moment, okay, if you could just loosen up a little. Now, loosen up. The moment he's like when he's hunkered down, collar tie, this is going to be kind of hard to pull, okay? But let's say we're here, we're tussling, we're hand fighting, I catch him, yeah, right? I start attacking this immediately, okay? So we'll go super slow-mo, we're tussling, I catch my collar tie. The second I feel him make tactile contact, I'm attacking this arm and turning him over. Furthermore, I want to supercharge this a little bit. So my hand that was collar tied is going to loop around, frame on his jawline, push his face away, turn the arm over. From here, guys, I'm going to let this slide over, and I'm going to catch my own collar so that my elbow kind of goes over top his. I keep my frames, put my feet on his hips, and then I just, oh, sorry, okay? And I compress. Now, yeah, so quick nuance about this armbar, guys. This is not as much a compression, like a folding armbar, as much as it is a turn. I want everybody to do this for a second. Give a big thumbs up. Okay, tip or Jimmy. Can't.
Not you, Jim.
Well, I'll give 2 for him. What I want you guys to do is you keep doing thumbs down and keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Do you notice how like you were eventually in an armbar?
Yeah.
You just keep twisting? This is why the teleport armbar works. If I try to, like, and it might work, but not really too well. If I try to like fold his arm into an armbar and attack it this way, it's like his arm's just going to keep looping, and it's just going to slip off eventually. What I want is this dynamic where I just keep turning, 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 and then it's like a turn and a compression at the end, right? So, we're here on the butterfly. Let me grab you again. So very simple attack to begin with, and we're going to connect this to something else in a minute. We're in the mid-range butterfly, which means that I don't really have the luxury of shooting underneath of his hips. So what I do have are frames so that he can't barrel into me, right? I can scoot my butt back a little bit if I want to be a little bit more well-positioned. But I don't quite have the range to start attacking for collar grips and stuff. That's going to be Wednesday where we have long range. But I'm here. I get my collar tie. I feel him reach up to grab my head. When he does, I'm switching, pushing, and turning. I want to let this hand slip over and catch my own collar. You could also keep on it and fold your arms. I don't like that one as much. You could also gable grip over the elbow. I find that the strongest is the collar grip. From here, I keep my frames and push on the hips, and I'm actually pushing him away while I do the elbow. You guys see this elbow motion, like I'm kind of rotating over to get the finish? I'm actively pushing him away. So if I grab, let me grab your ball. So John, you probably So we're in the butterfly guard, and again, I've established sort of this mid-range, like elbow distance, you know. For those here that were for wrestling practice, this is very similar to the position we worked today. It's a sort of mid-range, like I said, about elbows length, right? So I'm going to catch my collar tie, and then when I feel his hand pummel, I'm swooping and turning, right? I want to turn that elbow over, frame on his neck. I'm going to slide through to catch my collar, and what I'm looking for, ideally, is the point of my elbow to sort of match the line of his arm. You might not always get there, but it's like that's sort of what your target is. From here, I'm keeping that frame in place. Feet go on the hips, and I'm pushing him away while I rotate that elbow, over. So I'll do that one time, kind of somewhat smooth, and I'll go easy on the arm. So we're tussling, boom, I feel the collar tie happen, bam, there it is. Oh, one more note before I do this, because this is like where everybody, not everybody, but like everybody has a problem. This is what I don't want to do. So we'll go super like this. Boom. Coach, it doesn't work. I don't understand. I got the arm, it's not happening. Guys, if I lay flat on my back and I extend everything open, and his inside of his elbow is flush against my chest and my midsection, well, of course an armbar is not going to happen here. There's nowhere for the elbow to collapse into. But if I get that same pressure, the more that I start sitting up, look, space. Okay? So when I do this, I'm just pushing him away. I'm not leaning back so much. I'm just here, rotating the elbow. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? You guys ready to try it out? Cool, let's partner up. 1, 2, 3.